Hi, you guys. This video is about a trend in China with a Pacific doll called Natasha. Natasha comes in all types of colors. You can say blue, pink, orange, red, clear, translucent, mystery color, and also black. But the black doll has become the one that they have gravitated to abuse. Check out these clips and I will come back with my commentary.
Cute black baby squishy toy is super fun for stress relief. Perfect small gift. Tap the link below to get yours now lah.
トップで話題になっているもの、それがナターシャ、アフリカベビーのスクイズ人形。中国版 TikTok では洋服を着せたりメイクをしたり、まるで本物の赤ちゃんみたいに遊んでる動画が大量に出てきます。これが流行った理由からの雑扱いの様子を更新。投げられたりスープかけられたり風船につけられて放たれる、このストーリー性のある動画がバズって、今中国ではナターシャを使った動画が
meme on Chinese social media. So on Red Note and Diane, there is a trend of meme surrounding this stress toy people call Natasha. As part of this trend, people do obscene, cruel, and odd things to this doll as you see in the video, and it's super popular and people call it hilarious. I personally have an uncomfortable pit in my stomach when I see these videos. These stress toys come in various colors, even pink, yet the trend specifically chooses this particular model. Some are met with cyberbullying and nasty comments for speaking out. Some netizens simply dress her up and take her out.
So the Chinese people over in China are using black baby dolls for stress relief. They're literally torturing these dolls, stomping these dolls out, beating these dolls, and doing all sorts of heinous things to a black doll baby. If this is not child abuse mixed with racism, then I don't know what is. The Chinese population in China is Chinese people. They are not even in close proximity to black people like that. So what in the fuck is going on? What would prompt them to do this? And then when we say everybody is obsessed with black people, they say, oh, you're lying. No one likes you. We all have black fatigue. When we say people are delusional and it is nothing but pure projection, when they talk about how we operate through the world and how we treat people and how we're dangerous and how we're a threat to society, when it's literally the people that are pointing the finger, three are pointing back at them. Because what on God's green earth would make Chinese people make a doll and call it the Natasha doll just to torture it and beat it up for stress relief? A little black baby doll. Literally, I've seen a video of a Chinese person running the doll over with a car, slapping the doll, slamming the doll, doing all sorts of demonic debauchery with this black baby doll. Yet people swear for God that we are the worst thing that happened to planet Earth. We've not done anything to anybody to subjugate them, denigrate them, disenfranchise them. What is like, and then we keep saying, well, what is the problem? What is the problem? It has to be pure jealousy and envy and just racism, because there's no excuse for this. There's no excuse. There aren't even black people in China like that for them to be doing this. Globally, everyone has an issue with black people. And then you'll be like, oh, well, if everybody has an issue, then maybe you're the problem. No, maybe we are the source. It got to be jealousy. It has to be, because what else is the reason for this? And just blatant racism. They are not even in proximity to black people like that in China. Yet they're taking delight in torturing a black baby doll. Let that sink in. What do y'all think about this? Sound off in the comments below, because this is just like spread love is the Brooklyn way. Like, child, everybody globally has a gripe with black people, and particularly black Americans, because the name Natasha, that's a black American name. Like, they're not named Natasha over on the continent. You don't hear too many Natashas in South America or in the Caribbean. That sounds like a black American's name. This is crazy. What the fuck? Oh, hell no. What the fuck has black people done to Chinese people to make them want to go and develop a doll named Natasha? Is she supposed to be African or black American? And this is how they alleviate their stress. And not only are they doing this, in real time, they are going to get African children, adopting them and abusing them. Real life human Natasha dolls. But when they can't get their hands on that, they get their hands on these. Yeah, they're selling like wildflower. And so, number one, fuck you. Number two, Instagram. There's a page up that's selling all these things, and I'm going to put it in a thing. We're calling for the immediate removal of all of these hateful and hurtful images.
You should not be legally allowed to buy these Natasha dolls for the purposes that you people are buying them for. I feel genuinely sick to my stomach. I wish I never found out. That is a fucking baby, bro. You guys actually need psychiatric help. For those of you who don't know, first of all, I'm jealous of you, but this is called a Natasha doll, and it's all the rave in China right now, for all the wrong reasons. There are locals buying these dolls in China right now, oftentimes in mass, and beating the living shit out of these dolls, stomping on these dolls, getting a scalpel and removing the skin off these dolls. Everything that you can assume that they would do, they've done. And some of the justifications for this, you ask, are genuinely disgusting. Because a lot of people are just playing this down, saying that these are just stress relief dolls and that the skin color is not relevant. But to everyone with more than 3 brain cells, we can discern that that is a stupid BS justification. Because look at these dolls. Look close at them. Why did you have to make them all black? And it's not even like an uncanny type of whatever. These are ordinary looking brown and black babies. They have even put details on the lips, the pink lips. It is very definitively a black baby child. They genuinely mimic black babies way too much for you to just play it off as plausible deniability. Why couldn't they make them orange or purple or red or blue? Why do they have to be brown? Akin black baby.
There is a trend on Chinese TikTok right now, absolutely brutalizing little black baby dolls called Natasha dolls, okay? These dolls come in a multitude of different skin tones, but it is a trend to brutalize these things. And when I say brutalize, I mean brutalize. I'm talking about beating them to shit, running them over with cars, stabbing them, cutting their stomachs open and putting the things inside of them, sexually dehumanizing them, pouring boiling water over these things. Like, the worst things you can think of to do to an item, that's what these people are doing to it, okay? This whole trend is justified by Chinese netizens for disgusting, dehumanizing reasons about aesthetic and black skin tone, and everything that they're saying is just dehumanizing, disgusting bullshit, okay? The thing about Chinese apps and Chinese social media is that it is very isolated, okay? A lot of the stuff that people post is targeted towards Chinese netizens, people that live in China, and it doesn't really leak out a whole lot, okay? And this has also sparked kind of a trend that kind of poked into a previous trend, okay? So bear with me for a second here. A couple of years ago, the Chinese government and the Chinese social media space was exposed for a content farm for abusing black children. When I say abusing, I mean abusing. I'm talking beating them, shoving them, kicking them, recording them doing dehumanizing acts of service like washing your feet, getting things for you, massaging you, and then they would put them on camera and make them say dehumanizing things about themselves, calling themselves slurs, saying that they're R words and things like that. It's disgusting content, and it was insanely viral. There were thousands of videos of this content, okay? So this Natasha doll shit has sparked people calling real black children Natasha babies, Natasha dolls. There are people doing blackface, doing Natasha makeup. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's real content. I downloaded RedNote, and I went and I searched this content up, and it is real, and it does exist. Like, this is not something that people are making up. So this whole Natasha doll shit is just like a subgenre of the racist content that is huge in China. It is insane seeing this. I'm going to include what I can with blurs and censorship, because I don't want this video taken down, because I feel like it's really informative. A lot of the stuff in China is isolated in China. A lot of people don't know about it because of how isolated it is, and I feel like a lot of people should know about it, but I have to be careful with how much I share, because this is disgusting.
A baby doll in China is going viral, and the doll's name is Natasha. Natasha comes in all colors, but the black doll is the one that the Chinese people are taking their stress out on. On the Chinese social media, individuals are seen punching, stomping, pouring boiling water, stretching the doll. Okay. A user said on the Chinese platform that darker skinned dolls are preferred for mistreatment and the white dolls are human like and get sympathy when damaged. Social media users are saying that this is just plain racism. Why is it only the black dolls that are getting abused? A psychologist said that these people should not be using the doll to relieve their stress because this can program the brain to become hostile and destructive towards this type of skin color. The manufacturer who made this doll marketed as a durable product capable of withstanding repeated stretching and composition. Its usual appearance attracted attention on Douyin, Douyin, and RedNote. The people would test the doll's ability of extreme handling, and people in China are taking it way too far with this testing, and it's borderline abusive. Okay. And they're doing this for views and to get attention, and everybody is calling it out and saying that, hey, like, this is not cool, this is disgusting. Chinese people have mental illnesses because this is a straight baby. Basically, it's a baby doll. It's a straight baby. And I seen that this Chinese man, he would go over to Africa to get massages from the local kids. The kids would cook them something to eat, and he would film them. And he would say things like, in Chinese, um, my IQ is low, and the kids will repeat it. They don't know what they're saying. He would say, like, I'm very inferior, and the kids would just repeat it in Chinese. And then he'll upload it to the Chinese social media, and all Chinese people would just laugh. Because these African kids, they don't know, they don't know what they're saying. And it is just sad. It's really sad. And uh, they're saying that the Chinese people will go to Africa and adopt these babies, bring them back to China, and abuse them because they're the human life Natasha dolls. Now, I don't know how true this is, but you know, they there is a lot of Chinese people in Africa because they do call this doll an Africa doll. So hey, it could be true. I don't know. But this is just disgusting. I don't think anybody should be doing a baby like that. There's one video that I saw on TikTok. I didn't put it in here because I don't know. I didn't put the video in here because one of the comments said it was AI, but it doesn't look AI. There's a Chinese person and there's an African toddler on a couch, and the Chinese person is pulling the pillow in its face, like smothering the child, and then, pulls the pillow back and was laughing. So I thought that was totally disgusting. And a lot of people in the comments are like, why is every single nationality obsessed with Black people? And that's a genuine question. I really want to know. Why is every nationality obsessed with Black people? And they were like, what has Black people done to the Chinese for them to, specifically abuse, the Black doll? And it all goes back to them being in Africa, So it's just a lot of debate, controversy, and all of that going on right now with this doll, or I should say with this trend. And we don't even know why they call it the Natasha doll. That's weird. But hell, what do I know? I'm just a talking head.
So, this is a thing.
TikTok で話題になっているもの、それがナターシャ、アフリカベビーのスクイーズ人形、大量に出てきます。これが流行った理由、結婚をせかしてくるお母さんに対してネットでこの人形を購入、ナターシャと名付けて娘として育て始めたこと。
Did the doll have to be black? And before I hear, it's not that serious. Oh yes, it is that serious. Why are black dolls specifically being put through extreme physical abuse? Let that sink in for a bit. It's almost as if because society no longer has unlimited, unregulated, unadulterated access to our physical bodies, it's found a way to do it through things like this. It isn't enough that the features here are reminiscent of minstrelsy, of caricatures that were used in times past to justify the systemic oppression of Black peoples, or the fact that because it's a baby being put into all of these sexualized positions, it plays into the historic and ongoing adultification of Black children, who consequently have to suffer its violence. This Africa baby doll lets you stretch it, hit it, squeeze it, debase it, and dehumanize it in any way you want. Just like the old enslavers would say, it's not a real human, so who cares, right? No, this doll with its dark skin, flashy lips, and white features is just a fun little toy for a fun little time. Never mind that apparently the name Natasha stuck because it resembles a dialect word for trash can. No, this is all good fun. Society loves to minimize anti-Blackness when it's staring us right in the face. That's why, trigger warning, I'm gonna use a word here that some of you might find offensive, but we need to be more woke. This is not okay. You could never get me to look at this and think it harmless. And you shouldn't either, because it's anything but.
A Black baby doll is going viral right now, and videos show people stomping on it, boiling it, and throwing it for entertainment. When someone asked why the Black version was chosen, a user allegedly explained that a white baby would feel too human, that people would feel bad hurting it. That one sentence is the story. A squeezable stress relief toy called the Natasha doll has taken over Chinese social media. It comes in multiple colors, but the dark-skinned version is the one dominating the videos. It's the one being beaten. It's the one being run over. It's the one being subjected to extreme handling for views views and engagement. I'm Dr. Michael H. Ford, and this is a story you need to hear, because this is not new. In 1895, a doll called the Gollywog appeared in British children's books, a black caricature with exaggerated features rooted in the blackface minstrel tradition. It was not just a toy. It appeared on household items, food labels, greeting cards, and even advertisements. According to historians at the Jim Crow Museum of Racist Memorabilia, toys and games have long been one of the most pernicious ways to spread racist ideas, because they normalize those ideas in the minds of children before they are old enough to question them. And the Natasha doll is not the first time this has happened in the digital age. In 2022, a BBC Africa Eye investigation exposed a Chinese content creator in Malawi who paid children as young as 9 half a dollar each to chant phrases in Mandarin that they could not understand. Those phrases included, "I'm a black monster," and "my IQ is low." He sold those videos for up to $70 each on Chinese social media, making up to $380 a day. He was convicted. But the pattern did not end with his conviction. The dehumanization of black people did not begin online, but online platforms have given it a global audience, an algorithm, and a profit margin. When an entire community can be reduced to a stress relief object, and that reduction goes viral, we have to ask who benefits from that normalization, and we have to ask who pays the price. Healing starts with knowing. Follow for more.
I hope this makes you as angry as it makes us. There's a viral trend around a Natasha doll in China, a black baby stress toy. Chinese social media users are filming themselves squeezing, stretching, and brutalizing the doll for entertainment. When asked why the Natasha doll had to be black, one Chinese social media user responded that a white baby, for example, would be too human and people would feel bad for hurting it. The Natasha doll is disturbing as is, and now Chinese social media users are filming themselves with real-life Natasha dolls. There are so many videos and entire channels dedicated to showing Chinese people abusing black babies, and then laughing about it. Content creator Shalom M took a deep dive on the many ways in which Chinese social media has created an entire market for abusing, harassing, and dehumanizing African children on camera. She mentions how the BBC did an entire documentary on a Chinese man who was living in Malawi and filming children without the consent of their parents and selling those videos to said Chinese market. China has a great firewall on all social media apps that are not Chinese owned, so they have their own apps like RedNote, WeChat, and more. Which means a lot of the content posted on these Chinese social media apps stays within China and is specifically targeted towards a Chinese audience and what they like. There's an entire market of Chinese adults who enjoy watching videos of black African children being abused. As our African leaders continue to welcome a nation that does not regard us as human beings, what can we do about it? Let's talk in the comments.
I've been looking into this Natasha dolls thing, and it is way crazier than I thought it would be. If you need catching up, there was a trend on Chinese social media recently where people would take these dolls, coined Natasha dolls, and go to town on them. Driving over them, cutting or piercing them, stretching them, beating them up. And the thing is, most, if not all, of these dolls were black or dark skinned. Here's one. The Chinese above it basically says that the doll was hit so hard the stuff in her brain came out. I guess inside the doll was powder or something. It's crazy, and the lore is crazy because apparently the only reason they're called Natasha dolls is that a Chinese influencer called them trash, and in his dialect it sounds like Natasha. This is not confirmed. I don't know about this. Trash in Mandarin is Laji, Natasha, Laji. I don't know. And also apparently some people were painting their dolls to be lighter. Yeah, it's crazy. But at the same time, not that crazy because we all know that colorism is a huge problem in China and Asia in general. People, especially women, will buy charcoal-based creams, whitening creams, for example, to make their skin as white as possible, which is insanely ironic because you have Western girls out here buying tanning cream. And excuses have come in. Oh, it's just for stress relief. These dolls, it's just dark humor. It's just a trend we're all following. The thing is, even if you're not actively thinking about darker skinned people while you're doing all this crazy stuff, imagery is important. And when you post this stuff online, that imagery is marketing and PR for all the wrong reasons. And I feel like Chinese people do not think about these things because there's just very little thought and consideration for black people in their culture. there's not a lot, they don't see a lot of black people in their everyday lives. I'm gonna have to try and look more into where this Natasha name came from. I really don't think the trash can thing is correct. But the craziest part of all this is me trying to imagine the reaction from Africans, because China and Africa have very good relations. China has been building infrastructure and investing a ton of money into Africa over the past couple of years. I've covered this before. This is for their Belt and Road Initiative to increase trade throughout the global south. I mean, you have African kids in some countries learning Mandarin. I wish I could have been on African social media when this was at its peak. Oh my God. Colorism is a huge problem in Asia that needs more attention, because this is not the first time, and I don't think this will be the last time, that colorism will manifest in some kind of trend or something. And if anything else comes up about this Natasha Dolls thing, I'll let you know.